Oh.
You okay, James?
Oh yeah, I just had the weirdest dream though. More of a nightmare. The only versions of sports cars you could buy were crossovers, and then Ferrari made one, and then the whole world went to hell. We divided into factions. We had our own faction. You named it something stupid like La Resistance, and oh. Yeah, go on then.
La Resistance is not a stupid name. You're stupid.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James, and these are two of the sportiest SUVs you can buy.
If a C-Class makes you feel too close to the earth, then for a little bit more money, you can buy its taller, larger sibling, the GLC. The 63S version can be had in Canada in both the SUV coupe and the normal SUV shape, like the one you see here. Don't worry, America, you can still get a non-S 63 if you want this one. But if you go for the S, you'll get a glorious bi-turbo AMG V8 that puts out 503 horses. Power is sent to all four wheels, and thanks to the bi-turbo, there's 516 pound-feet of torque to enjoy. All things that make the GLC 63S the GLC 63 yes.
Wow, James.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
You should be, because today you are going up against this, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. And while the GLC 63S only has 503 horsepower, the Alfa stands up taller, with 505. And with a very advanced all-wheel drive system that can operate as purely rear-wheel drive, just like that Merc, it's determined to show us that SUVs need not be boring or ugly. If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The shifts are unbelievable. Okay, SUVs that are sporty like this do not need to exist. If you're looking for one like this, get the Giulia Quadrifoglio. It makes way more sense. Unless you don't look at this as an SUV. You look at it as a slightly raised wagon version of the Giulia, which is pretty much what it is when you drive it. Or if your friends just bought an X3M competition or a GLE 63 and they won't shut up about it, then get one of these.
GLC 63S, and my god, that's quick. It hits 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.8 seconds if you have launch control, but this one's a little bit too new, so it won't let me do it. Also, with respect to Mercedes-Benz Oakville, I haven't even tried it.
Firstly, what we need to know is that this engine and drivetrain and transmission is completely perfect. So like many manufacturers these days, Alfa Romeo's done some component sharing. In this case though, it's with Ferrari, because this has a version of the F154 Ferrari engine, with 2 less cylinders. But it does have the same V-angle and some components, but obviously a lot of the peripherals are different and it doesn't have a dry sump system. But all that matters is that you get to tell your friends that your Alfa Romeo has a Ferrari engine. And that means it is just all about drama. Like this.
So Thomas is probably saying that the Stelvio Quadrifoglio has a Ferrari engine, and that's really cool, except it doesn't matter because more torque, 8 cylinders, and it's handcrafted by our man Chrysostomos Vasilyov. And the last 2 times that we did a shout out to the AMG engine builders, they reached out to us on Instagram because they were so happy to be featured on the channel. So Chrysostomos, if you're watching, hit us up on Instagram at The Throttle House, and great job. I just want to rev this out all day. But they don't allow you to do it in jail, so. In horsepower wars, yes, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio takes this, but this is a torquey mug. It has globs of power, and when you put it down, it makes that AMG sound. The C63S we drove recently had a particle filter, and it was lost from it. This still sounds completely AMG, and I really hope moving forward that we keep this soundtrack, but I have a feeling we won't.
For me, the thing that makes it, aside from the unbelievably good exhaust noise and the bangs on the upshift and the pops on the downshift, is the transmission itself. This is a ZF 8-speed, and it's a torque converter. similar to the one you get in the M5 competition. This one, though, is tuned to be as aggressive as anything I have ever driven. The upshifts are insane. There's a click to the paddle, and it kind of punches the engine a little bit on the upshift, thrusts you in the back just a touch, and it makes the whole experience of shifting so dramatic. And the downshifts are unbelievable. This car is so fun. And the way that the engine revs, they've tuned it so that right when you get up to the red line, it pulls just a little bit harder. It doesn't run out of breath. It makes the act of stomping on this car so rewarding.
Most V8s are just loud, but when you put your foot down in this, it fills your chest. It's amazing. And for this, we have Mercedes 9-speed automatic, and the shifts are lightning quick, and they sound incredible as well. What a sensationally competent car. And it's an SUV, but I say car because that's what it feels like driving it. It looks a bit like a raised hatchback, and it drives like the hottest hatch ever.
So clearly the straight line performance of these two is very impressive. But they are SUVs, so let's see how they handle the corners.
This is not a sedan, it is obviously an SUV, but the way that they've tuned this makes it feel like a hatchback. It obviously is heavier than a hatchback, but when I turn in, the steering ratio is super fast, the front end grip is excellent, and there's a nice sense of vibration coming through the steering wheel that kind of lets me know what those front tires are doing. It controls its body so well. The only time that it kind of falls down is on side-to-side transitions when you can feel the mass kind of trying to sort itself out. But in just carving back roads, this is as fun as a sports car.
And it handles like an AMG. The steering feels accurate, it's weighted. The ride, even in race mode right now, is comfortable. And around town in comfort mode, it's wonderful. The X3M was awful for ride. Even in the country roads, we were wooden wagoning all over the place. Now this is on air suspension, and you can change the ride height and how stiff it is with the driving modes. In racing mode right now, it feels incredibly capable.
Now I will say, that sounds so good, that the ride is a little bit stiff and the insulation isn't that awesome. But we found that with the X3M competition, and I'm wondering what that GLC is like. I've been keeping it in race mode, which stiffens everything up, including the dampers, but there is a deoxyribonucleic acid down on the side here. A makes it green, N makes it blue, and D makes it red. Okay, so actually we got D for dynamic mode, N for natural, and A for advanced efficiency, which does some cylinder deactivation.
If I had to find a complaint, it would be the same one I had with the X3M. It doesn't have a low center of gravity. It has every single other thing associated with sportiness, but it misses that low center of gravity, and I question if you need it in a car like this. Even though it's very well controlled in the corners, there's still body roll. You can't get away from the fact that it is a tall 4,500 pound SUV.
But enough about that. Okay, let's go talk about the styling. Well,
It's brilliant.
yeah.
I don't understand how this even has a chance.
What? No. Okay. This is a special driving experience. This is just going to drive. I know exactly how this is going to drive.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's just an AMG. It's just going to be.
It's just an. You can't say it's just an AMG.
I just did.
That's the AM in AMG stands for amazing.
What?
Look it up.
What's the G stand for then?
Ing. I don't know. This looks like you're on your way to a Dropkick Murphys concert.
Okay, that's Quadrifoglio. That's the symbol of Sporty Alphas, 1923. First time that appeared. It's really cool.
Yeah, like the interior, 1923.
Where are you going with stuff? Yes, we'll get to that in a minute. Styling. This is the better looking car of these two.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
It's very pretty.
That's
it's very
right.
Italian.
It is.
And the car enthusiast, the sign of a car enthusiast is a license plate over to the left.
An
It means
offset plate.
It's the equivalent of pulling your hat back because you mean business.
Yes, that's right.
And Alfa's already done it for you.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But this is unacceptable, this wheel gap. It looks like a 4Runner.
Okay, yeah, you could go breakdancing in the wheel arches. But it's ride height. It's for you clearance.
Clearance? Well, so
Yeah.
you can get underneath and fix it.
Oh,
In
God,
fact,
with the Alpha joke.
We often take pictures of this on the side of the road when
Oh,
we
here
do
we
our
go.
driving.
This is true,
and
unfortunately.
for the first time ever, 3 people pulled over to ask if he needed help because they thought he'd broken down. So that's 1 point to Canadian friendliness
He was so
and
happy
0
about this.
points to Alpha.
Okay. styling of this. This has got the new, what's it called?
That's the Panamericana grill.
Panamericana grill,
It's
looks
aggressive.
good.
It looks like it's from the GTR.
Yep. Otherwise, this looks like a big hatchback, basically.
It does, yeah. It's not super aggressive otherwise, but it has the hyper silver wheels, which look incredible.
Yes.
And we asked everyone on the Instagram account which wheels they would rather take, and they said the Mercedes.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, when all the votes were finally in, that result changed. So ha!
This is one of the prettiest wheels on sale. Also, carbon ceramic brakes.
How much are they?
$8,000.
That sounds like a lot, but it's actually, if you look at Porsche and Jag,
It's not actually that much.
not that crazy.
No, I wouldn't get them though.
No?
No.
Is it overkill?
Yes.
All right.
Interior?
Yeah. Door is light.
The whole car is like, look at all the carbon fiber.
Yeah, I was mean actually. It looks nice in here.
It does look nice. It is let down though by a few things.
Yeah, that screen looks dark.
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
It's not good. The backup camera's useless. This isn't a touchscreen, and this is the cheapest knob that I've ever used in any car.
Yeah,
It's not good. Also, the gauge cluster doesn't look that. It's okay. It's fine. It passes. But the steering wheel,
very nice with the carbon fiber.
$600 for that.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. Push button start on the steering wheel. Look at that right there.
That's nice.
Column mounted paddle shifters.
I don't like the column mounted shifters.
But then you always know where they are when you're doing drifts and stuff.
No, if the turning ratio is tight enough on an automatic car, I would rather they stay with my hands.
That's fine. Sure. Okay, I give it to you. We got some green and white stitching.
Yeah, part of the Dropkick Murphys theme continuing.
Okay, these are $4,100 Sparco carbon fiber seats.
They're comfortable.
They
That's
are
a lot of money though.
It is a lot of money. Also, it causes a situation where if you don't plug that seatbelt in here when there's no one sitting there, the seatbelt rattles off the carbon fiber on the side of the seat.
So good.
Not cool. Okay, so speaking of which, yeah,
That moves.
the build quality is not. It's not good.
Once you get north of 100 grand, there's an expectation.
I know.
It doesn't matter
and,
the driving.
and it doesn't meet that. It looks really nice, but it's not that well built. It creaks and it cracks.
At least you've got the panoramic sunroof.
Yeah, $1,500 goes all the way
got it as
back.
well.
Yeah, it's fine though. Honestly, this is a very special feeling car. It's just not quite built well enough for what I want it to be.
Do you want to see one that is?
All right, let's go to it. It's a bit of a heavier door.
It is, because you're in
Yeah.
a place of quality now.
This is the old gen tech though.
This is the old gen, yeah. So for 2020, it's going to be updated with all the new stuff. It doesn't even matter though, because you're still in trouble, because this is still better than the current Stelvio Quadrifoglio.
I know, I can't
But
really
yeah, we
argue.
are getting the new tech. I think it's a lot like the X3M, right? That
Yes.
We drove that on track. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it.
It's a good car.
They make these cars at the end of the cycle of the generation.
Right, yes.
So it's actually cool that they're giving this a facelift.
Yeah.
So it's getting all this, the C63 stuff. So it's getting
with the thumb buttons
the
and the
M-bugs,
screen.
and it's
Yeah.
getting the AMG dynamic thing.
Yep.
So you can put this car into Master Race.
Master Race.
Yeah, if you haven't seen our C63S video, we go into that a little bit more there. But yeah, so kind of disregard this for now because the new gen is
I guess that's
sick.
fine. It's still nice. It's fine. It's good. It's
Very nice. This is a $1,500 carbon fiber, which we know doesn't creak as much.
as the wood trim ones.
Well, because carbon fiber trees tend to be a bit of the sturdier
That's right,
variety.
they're usually sturdier than
Yeah,
wood. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
The seats are nice. I
This
like
doesn't
them.
move.
It does move a little bit. Hold on.
That's just because of superhuman strength, but it is pretty good. And we got the Burmester sound system, which is great, and the panoramic sunroof. It does have a lot of the packages, which is why it's the same price as that.
Yes.
So it has the heated and cooled seats and executive premium package and executive package. The standard Mercedes thing where you can just get a
keep
shopping
ticking
list.
boxes. Yeah. Back seats?
Yeah,
Okay. We just sat in the back of the Stelvio.
we did.
And it's bigger than this.
This feels only marginally smaller though.
That's true. It's on the back.
And we have climate control for the back seats here.
Yep.
And heated seats, which you
Aw.
don't have in that.
Fine.
Yeah.
Can I drive this now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. That engine. Nobody can do engine noise like AMG. It sounds like the Hulk. Hulk smash puny Stelvio.
Stelvio Quadrifoglio. And Thomas has left me in race mode. Of course he has. Whatever the most overcompensating mode is in is the one he drives in. Yeah, has absolutely no trouble putting the power down. They're getting really good at making these sport SUVs.
Okay, now, the engine is better. It pulls smoother and harder and sounds amazing. The front end is really, really good in this, but it's not quite as direct or sharp as the Stelvio, but it is a better ride quality as a result. Overall, this is a more put together car. This is a better vehicle, period. The thing is though, I'm not sure that I like it better.
Is it necessary that the SUVs can do this? Probably not. They hide their speed so well as well, so you get in trouble really easily with these. Is it overkill? maybe all three of the cars we talked about today are overkill. The X3M Competition, the Stelvio, and this GLC 63S. Especially this one with the interior quality as it is. I'm hearing creaks and cracks the whole time I'm driving. And for north of 100 grand, it starts to become very unacceptable. The 43 AMG and the XM340i, all the middle ones, are really competent and really good. And I think they are the sweet spot for comfort and price and performance. I don't think that this is necessary, and I don't think on the road it gives you that much more back.
Okay, so here's the conclusion then. Overall, this is a better vehicle than the Stelvio. For your money, you're getting a much better put together car that is a lot more well-rounded. But personally, I would still buy the Stelvio because it's prettier, it's different, it's just crazy, wild fun. You're making sacrifices for that, but I'm okay with that. And the thing is if it's my money, I don't want to buy something that's just great. I want to buy something that's great and special. It's an unquantifiable thing, and I wish that I could put it on a data sheet for you, but I can't. I just want the Stelvio.
If I'm going for a performance vehicle, I would choose the sedan. But out of the two that we're testing today, I'd take the GLC 63S. It feels better built. It drives better. It's more comfortable. It's not as harsh a ride as this and the X3M. I think it's an absolute slam dunk by Mercedes. But again, I'd probably lean towards the GLC 43. It's probably enough.
All right, you messed this up last time. There's only a certain amount of time for these end screen things, and you have to tell everyone all the information. Like, follow us on Instagram.
Watch the track videos.
Yes, which of these two cars would they take?
Yeah.
Can you handle it?
You can do it yourself if you don't trust me.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.